Every culture has a monster, a creature whispered about in the dark, a thing parents warn their children about when the lights go out. In America, it's the boogeyman, but across Mexico, Spain, and much of Latin America, there is something older, something far darker, a name spoken softly, almost like a prayer or a warning. Go to sleep, or El Cucuy will come for you. Simple words. But for generations of children, those words turned bedrooms into prisons. Closets became gateways, and darkness became alive. But what exactly is El Cucuy? A cautionary tale? A supernatural predator? Or something far older, something feeding on fear itself? Tonight, we step into the shadows to uncover the terrifying legend of the Cucuy. Unlike many monsters, El Cucuy has no true appearance. That may be what makes him so terrifying. Descriptions change depending on who tells the story. Some say he's a hairy beast with glowing red eyes and long claws. Others describe a skeletal figure draped in black, lurking just outside bedroom windows. Something that can become whatever frightens you most, as fear doesn't need a face. The story of El Cucuy traces back to medieval Spain. The word coco appears in texts as early as the 1600s. It referred to a ghostly child snatcher used to frighten children into obedience. When Spanish settlers arrived in Latin America, the legend evolved. It absorbed indigenous fears, local superstitions, and spiritual beliefs. It became something more monstrous, more personal, not just a bedtime warning, but a living presence said to stalk homes after dark. And many believed he was very real. El Cucuy preys on universal childhood fears, the dark, being alone, the unknown, the idea that something is watching, waiting. Many children report the same experiences, hearing scratching from the closet, whispers near the bed, the sensation of being watched, and sometimes seeing a dark figure standing silently in the corner. Parents often dismiss these stories, just imagination, night terrors. But what if they aren't? What if countless children across generations saw the same thing? And what if El Cucuy is real, because belief made him real? Across Latin America and Hispanic communities worldwide, people tell unsettling stories. Stories they rarely laugh about. A family in rural Texas reported their 6-year-old son screaming nightly. He claimed the man with no face stood inside his closet. His parents ignored it, until one night the father checked and found the closet door already open. Inside, hanging from the darkness, two glowing red points. Like eyes. The family fled the room. When police searched, nothing was there. The boy refused to sleep alone for years. He still insists El Cucuy was watching him. Another incident involves a mother hearing her daughter talking late at night. She assumed the girl was pretending, until she listened. The child was whispering, "No, please don't take me." The mother entered. Her daughter pointed to the corner and said, "The hairy man says you can't see him." The room temperature dropped instantly. The lights shattered. No explanation was ever found. Some paranormal researchers believe El Cucuy may be connected to shadow people, dark humanoid entities seen worldwide. They appear at the edge of vision, motionless, watching. Many encounters match El Cucuy descriptions perfectly. Featureless blackness, glowing eyes, sleep paralysis, overwhelming dread. Could El Cucuy simply be the Hispanic interpretation of a universal phenomenon, a shared encounter humans have experienced for centuries? Or are shadow people merely another name for El Cucuy himself? In some regions, people believe El Cucuy was once human, a murderer, a kidnapper, a man cursed for preying on children, condemned to wander eternally, hunting the innocent. Others say he is demonic, a spirit summoned by fear and sustained through generations of belief. And there is one especially disturbing belief. If a child speaks his name 3 times in the dark, he appears. Not immediately, not dramatically. He simply begins watching, waiting, until one night he steps closer. Across Reddit forums, paranormal websites, and first-hand interviews, people describe the same terrifying details. A dark figure at the foot of the bed, heavy breathing, scratching inside walls, a whisper saying, "I'm here." Victims often say the experience began in childhood and followed them into adulthood. As if once El Cucuy notices you, he never truly leaves. Skeptics say it's psychology, sleep paralysis, cultural suggestion, childhood imagination shaped by fear, but belief has power. Stories repeated for centuries become embedded in consciousness, and some say consciousness shapes reality. If millions believe in El Cucuy, could belief itself create him? A thought form, a creature born from collective fear. If so, he's been growing stronger for hundreds of years. And tonight you've thought about him. You've imagined him. You've invited the possibility into your mind. And according to the oldest legends, that is enough. Tonight, when your house goes silent, when the shadows stretch unnaturally long, when you hear something shift in the darkness, don't look too quickly. Because if you catch El Cucuy watching you, he knows you can see him, and once that happens, he doesn't leave. He waits, closer each night until finally your closet door opens. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more terrifying folklore and cryptid legends. And tell me in the comments, did your family ever warn you about El Cucuy? Because some warnings exist for a reason.